Game number 1 in the rematch, everybody. We have the last best of 3 series in Group C. And as it happens, it's starting on Sky Temple. oVo going up against Gale Force Esports. The last time that these two teams faced each other, oVo was able to take it with a 2-1. But, well, this could be, of course, a very different game. And this is the one that counts, because whoever wins this best of 3 series will advance to the next round of the tournament together with a Tempo Storm. Towards the right side of the map, we have already Gale Force Esports with the ban on Falstad. And now oVo has to make that decision if they want to ban out Zul, yes or no. They were actually nearly successful with Zul in the last game, but Tempo Storm turned the game around. And yeah, oVo is thinking about it. They're not quite sure if they really want to ban him out, if they just want to deal with him. That bone prison can be quite annoying, and so is the poison over, as we could see. But it's definitely, you can definitely play around the guy. So they are starting to run down that time pool of theirs. So I would say it looks more and more like we're going to see maybe not quite the ban against Zul. It's the Zeratul instead. And considering the experience that oVo had so far with Zeratul, that's quite understandable. Gale Force Esports doesn't even value Zul in this case. They're just saying like, all right, Liming. Liming, that's, give me the Asian chick. We want to have Liming. We want to get all those laser beams out there. We want to have the recess. Give us the damage. Whereas oVo just basically says, all right, old guy with a scythe, hell yeah, sign us up. So they're going straight for that bone prison style again that they used in the last game, I suppose, where they were able to do a lot of damage actually with him, especially after amplified damage came in on level 16. But the snipes on Stitches didn't really work out too well. And one question, of course, that we all have to ask us in hindsight, if Vala should have gone for that giant killer to maybe burst Stitches down a little bit faster. For this game, it's not really make a difference anymore, though. Thrall has been chosen now for oVo. And Gale Force Esports, maybe with Muradin Rhaegar, it's definitely an opportunity that they have here. But keep in mind that we also have a Greymane still around. So they could even prioritize damage even more, but no, they don't. Muradin Rhaegar, it actually is. So Greymane is still, of course, one of those things that both teams have to consider at this point. I would say that oVo is most likely not going to ban him, because I still assume that they would be happy to take him here as a hero. Meaning that Gale Force Esports has to make that decision. For oVo, it's also a question about damage. I wouldn't really, I would not fault them for banning Lunara out. After the last 2 games that they played against Tempo Storm, Lunara seemed to be a bit the bane of their existence, and even when they looked like they would win the fight, Lunara just came in and destroyed their hopes and dreams. So Bambi, the crusher of hopes and dreams since 2016. But it is instead a Tacita. So they seem to be a bit afraid of a potential Illidan here. ETC banned out, so Greymane is actually accepted as a potential hero for oVo, but they didn't want to go into a Sundering into Mosh Pit. So they ban out ETC instead, allowing still for a Johanna to be taken by oVo, which is very likely going to be the case. So Johanna plus Thrall could be the setup here that they're going to use, unless of course they are happy to go into a Stitches play. I mean, Stitches Lunara is a setup that you can definitely run, so it's something that they could still go for in this particular setup. Stitches would then be the only one, but still. Wacky! Long time no see, dude. True wacky gamer here with Risa. 14 months. Jesus. That's pretty solid commitment right there. Thank you, bro. Johanna is being picked. Okay, so we have Johanna once again as the frontliner, and let's see how they're going to play this out. Because right now, what I want to see is what's going to be the range damage. There is Greymane, there is Lunara. They have shown huge affinity for Vala as well, which could also be the choice for them, considering that Muradin is a very hit point heavy tank, and the auto attack build that they've been using in the past few games would already also work against him. Ideally with level 13 Giant Killer, which they disregarded in the last game and went instead for the... But it is actually for the first time now, after I've been talking about it for a bit, it might be that Jaina plus Zul Bone Prison setup. So that could actually happen. And that is, of course, you put your eggs in a basket, yes, you try to just burst a specific target down, but that can really do a whole lot of work. Ideally, you have another lockdown, but yeah, they decide against it. They're just thinking about it and nah, it's a little bit too risky. Let's get that Lunara. Lunara destroyed us so many times, we want to make sure that now we play her. And with Thrall Johanna, you can create that space for Lunara, so I actually don't mind that at all, that setup that they're running. Gale Force Esports, they can pick Greymane. Very late pick, by the way, Greymane. Considering that we had him in the games that were played in Group B, with also Cloud9, sometimes banned first or picked first. This is an interesting setup to see him moving so far back in the priority for the teams that play today. Gale Force Esports have potential lockdown on Greymane. Tassadar was banned because OVO was a bit afraid that Gale Force Esports could play with a melee assassin like Illidan at the front line. But by now we have already a bit of counterplay against that. And a Sonya. Meridian Sonya is dirty. It's a very dirty setup. And now you could go for Greymane on top of that. If you want to go full burst, then Jaina would actually not be too shabby. We have seen for the longest time Sonya and Jaina combos. Greymane gives you a bit more flexibility in the terms that you can like poke from a distance as well, and then can still like use them as a finisher once that it's needed. But that's something that's more or less also a matter of preference at this point here. So in theory, I could even see an Abathur here, to be honest with you. I doubt that they are going to commit to one, but you could actually pull that off. Abathur for the soak at the top, putting the symbiote on Sonya, going more for a symbiote build than for a locust build, and just like deciding to use that newly improved shield. They decide against that. Not really a big surprise, but it would have been an option here. At Tyrande, Rhaegar, something which is very European. We've seen it a lot in Katowice at the regional finals, played by My Insanity, who ended up to be one of the 2 teams qualifying for the global finals in Korea. So Tyrande being chosen right now, and the Morales for OVO. A draft that is a bit reminiscent of what we've seen in the first game, actually. When we had the first game between Tempo Storm and OVO on a different map, but it's a very, very similar draft at that point. So it's kind of interesting here. Morales has to be very careful. You know what I would personally like to see here, and I'm not even joking. I feel with the double support that we have, you could go Leap. Jump Morales, be really aggressive, and try to lock her down. You could do that. It's of course a bit of a risk. I mean, like, don't get me wrong, Wrath of the Berserker is amazing, and with that you would run a bit of a risk there. The thing is though, if you connect with the Leap, then you would have the immediate follow-up on Tyrande, the extra damage, and Morales, if she's blown away, there's no heal anymore. So it is a risky move, it is a bit of a risky setup, but you can definitely do that. And if you blow Morales up, then without heal, this setup is going to be a little bit less strong. Game number 1 is going to start now, and we're going to have a close look at it. So OVO versus Gale Force Esports on Sky Temple. Let's jump right into it. Game on, ladies and gentlemen, the last best of 3 of the day of Group C. And well, right now, as you can already tell, we have once again the rematch, Gale Force Esports versus OVO. To the left side in blue, Gale Force Esports with Equinox on Sonya, Hexo on Rhaegar, we're seeing A on Tyrande, Mystic on Liming, and Fury on Meridian. To the right side of the map, Giletto with Lunara. We're having Lieutenant Morales, played by Trap Queen for OVO, Wilted on Johanna, the Oculus on Xul, and Insomnia on Thor. Pretty interesting setup here. I actually like it quite a bit. As I already said in the draft, it would be quite fun to see Sonya go for a leap. Personally, I kind of still expect her to go for Wrath of the Berserker. It's an amazing talent, even after the cooldown got increased by Blizzard. But it would be pretty nice to see just massive burst against Morales. And actually talking about that burst against Morales, goodbye heals. Oh, what? She gets away? No! Even Li Ming misses, and Equinox might actually die. Nope, he gets saved by the dog. But we still have the lockdown and the kill against Tyrande. Oh my god. What looked like a sure kill against Morales turned around and ended in disaster for Gale Force Esports. They lose the first hero in the game, but that was actually a pretty sweet one. So for now, Equinox up at the top. We are currently seeing him also with block on level 1. And the Oculus is already looking at pushing these lanes back. Hexo is there as well. This time, by the way, OVO is more or less trying to play the not the same combo, but they are trying to use that Morales, the Lunara, and also Morales, but mostly Lunara to her advantage with that amazing like burst that we've seen there. On level 1, the natural perspective is being chosen here, so a bit more vision on the map. We're seeing at the bot lane Li Ming going for the solo lane against Thrall. And actually we have a 1-1-3 split here for the 2 teams, so no rotation happening, at least no big one. Lockdown here against Hexo, but Lunara just simply with a poke. And as long as Morales is there and keeps himself in the back line, it's actually like pretty great. A lot of Morales players always trying to make like too many plays, as Morales, like in the end, like one of the main things that you can do if you're a little bit newer to Morales is like never get into auto attack range. Right now there's the grenade, but yeah, job well done so far. Good damage on all of the heroes here. As Morales, like, staying far in the back is most of the time really what you need to do. Positioning is everything with a hero, and once that you are in auto-attack range, you're most of the time already too far in. Because let's face it, who's gonna dish out the damage? Yeah, it's not gonna be Morales. As long as you stay safe and can heal everybody and keep them alive, that's your job and that's what you should do. If you, of course, can get a good grenade in, then, well, always go for it. But still, positioning and safety should always be Morales' first choice. Wilted has to be very careful here against that insane poke that we see from Liming. Already with the help of the Shrine, the tower is down. It's an even exchange, though, but a slight lead already, thanks to those early kills and the pressure play here on the side of Team OVO. An adjustment again for Sonya, Hurricane. We've seen it several times right now. It's a great talent if you're going up against Azul, because that Bone Prison is not going to affect you that much. You have to, of course, like, play around it a little bit. That's a great talent to have if you're trying to deny that. And Prisoner, Jailers has been chosen as the level 4 talent. Once again, they're moving in. Fury is in trouble. Fury is low. He jumps away, but he dies as Giletto jumps once more forward and takes the last hit with Lunara. Well played here. Good job by them. We have the double support build now with Spirit Walker's Grace on 4, Electric Charge, and Protective Shield plus Ranger's Mark. So a bit of adjustments on both of the heroes. Mana reduction on the Chain Heal for Reka, and we're also seeing Tyrande not going for the Owl build, but instead just simply saying, okay, we need a couple of shields here, and we need to make sure that we also have that Ranger's or Hunter's Mark ready all the time. It's again time for the objectives to be attacked here. The Oculus is actually incredibly low in mana, so he will have to move back eventually and make sure that he just, like, fixes that. Fury is moving in and wants to steal it away, but they are engaging into a 4 versus 3, and I don't think they realized that yet. So at this point, they need to move away. They push against Tyrande. Here comes also the Condemn. Oh, but Lunara gets healed. Nice job by the medic. Morales is trying to help everyone here. Everybody's incredibly low. It's the 5 versus 5 by now, but they get the camp. Everybody else is alive. Level 7 is there. And now OVO is in a very solid position. I mean, not only do they have the camp pushing the bot lane, and their opponent hasn't even taken theirs yet, but we also see them in a situation where they have the level 7 talent, where we, by the way, see the Harvest Vitality right now. So that's pretty cool for, like, sustain that you have now on the hero. Going away a bit from the builds that we've seen so far earlier with the Skeleton build. They're also seeing Nature's Culling again, which is cool for a boss steal too. Cleanse on Morales. And let's see how exactly they are going to play it here, how Gale Force Esports is going to try and run it. Because at this point, they have already the Piercing Bolt on Muradin. They're not seeing the battle momentum. Both of the teams time the camp to the top left and top right with the Bruiser camp, with the Temple at the bot, which they are aiming for. It's level 7 versus level 7. Nobody is close enough to get to level 10 and really threaten heroics. So Zul actually up at the top. He's trying to hide himself here a little bit. And they will move away from that Shrine. But Zul has insane AoE, of course. Like, look at this. He's just blasting that away. They're trying to push this in even harder, even though this fort is already gone. So at the bot lane, the red team is going to start and disengage a bit. They're trying to buy as much time as they can for Zul to get the experience. And he is really starting to get out of control there. That's, by the way, also one of the reasons why Equinox immediately rotated. Because he realized, hey, I need to soak some experience. I cannot just simply let this guy do what he does at the top lane. He's going to completely obliterate us. Look at this push! Like, he's taking them down here. Whirlwind will have to work against that. Well, breaks that quite easily. But this is, of course, the fight that they've been waiting for. Still, at the bot lane, it's a 4 versus 4. And that means in this scenario now that all of a sudden we're seeing OVO still with a bit of a pressure play. And also level 10 is going to be very early. Like, if they drop another structure, they will have level 10. Gale Force Esports, they need to disengage here. They can't stay here for much longer. That experience is going to be deadly. One more tower down, there's the 10, and they jump away. Thornwood Binds, the Poison Nova, Sundering, Blessed Shield, a lot of lockdown, a lot of stuns, and we have the Stim Drone for Morales. Whereas in the middle of the map, the Oculus is now starting to push a bit further in. So a 2-level advantage nearly, not quite, but close. And that, of course, puts them into an amazing spot. Fight down here. Oh, the kill against Li Ming. And now the lockdowns. Oh my god, Tyrande healed, but there is the Bone Prison. And the Oculus, they're going to drop everybody. A triple kill already. Guys, at this point, screw Leap. They're going to go for Wrath of the Berserker. They are way too far behind to actually commit to a Leap right now. If you gain some momentum, then you can definitely play with it. It's, as I said, a very aggressive variation of what you could play here. But at this point, it's survival that they need to go for. The engagements that we've seen so far were always dictated by OVO. Wrath of the Berserker is going to be the play. They need to stay at the front line so that finally Li Ming can get her damage in. And, I mean, this is going to be an easy boss at that. This is a disaster for Gale Force Esports in this first game. I mean, look at this. The boss is going to push the bot lane. The fort is already gone there, so they can focus into the mid lane now and can start to take that down as well. Here comes the 10, Wrath of the Berserker, of course, Avatar, Disintegrate. We have also now the Ancestral Healing, and Shadowstalk has been used as well. This is not going to be a walk in the park here for the team in blue. I mean, Gale Force Esports, first of all, they have to deal with the boss that opens up the entire map for oVo. And oVo is working towards level 13. They are actually going for level 13 now. And they are also going for the structures in the middle of the map at this point. So they're starting to go straight in for this one. Down goes the first tower. They go for the well. And the altars are on the map, but still it's at least even talents. Here comes the jump. They're trying to go for Morales has no business there. Nice Sundering immediately being used. Lockdown attempt against Sonya. The heal is there. Oh, the poison Nova, and in comes Lunara with a stim drone. So much damage. Everybody is rushing away, trying to stay alive, and that opens up a time window for the fort to be dropped. Yeah, and this is going to be the experience that we need. But lockdown attempt against Zul. Yeah, here's the safeguard. They're trying to keep him alive, and Morales is able to do exactly that. Level 13 talent isn't there yet. Equinox is getting very low. Good grenade once again from, Morales. Morales, yeah, she's safe, and down goes Sonya. Well played. I'm really liking the style that oVo shows here right now. It's incredibly annoying to play against this. They keep Morales safe. Morales always is good with good grenades to create some space as well if the opponent gets too close. They keep them at the distance. They put the damage in, and that is incredibly well done. I like that a lot. So right now we have Gelato and his boys going straight for the additional camp. We have now the unfair advantage taken. Keep in mind Nature's Culling and Natural Perspective on 1 and 7. We're seeing also the Burning Rage for Johanna, even more AoE damage. And the Deadly Strikes, or the Cursed Strikes, have now also the additional damage. Giant's Curse, after we've seen the Hardest Fight. It's a little bit more of a European style that is currently played with Zul here on the side of oVo. Europe really likes to go for the Cursed Strikes. They usually make a couple of adjustments on the level 4 talent, where the increased range on the side is a little bit more important to most of the European teams. But overall, we've seen a variety of builds already on Zul, and that's pretty sweet. The first keep is down 9 minutes and 30 seconds into the game. It's a 3-level lead that we're seeing, the top lane pressure, but Zul is currently alone, and he is actually up against 3, or will be if Equinox joins too, but I don't think it's really needed. Yeah, this is goodbye Necromancer. So he's down, and that's an important kill. This is a 5 versus 4 now. If they can follow that up with maybe a second one, that would be great. Lunara with a poke once again. Yeah, they need to disengage here, they do that. Thrall didn't even have to use the Sundering. They get away. The only victim was really the Necromancer. And it was also the first kill, by the way. It was the first kill for Gale Force Esports, and we have 7 versus 1 kills now overall. So once again, we're seeing a bit of pressure play. This time, on the other hand, it's Gale Force Esports trying to pressure the advantage and close that gap in experience a bit. At least get level 13 talents. But besides that, Necromancer is back to business. And with Zul coming back into play, they have, of course, now an opportunity to work towards level 16 and get that extra. 13 versus 13 with a glass cannon now taken. We're having Mystical Spear plus Tidal Waves. And the last few shots are being fired now as well. I don't really think that they're going to commit to an attack just yet. Bot lane has to be defended. The Wisp is actually moving in. It's just like checking out what's going on over there. And the Sundering as they're aiming for Sonya. Here comes the attack again. They're trying to go for Equinox. Nice Ancestral Healing, but the stun on Tyrande misses. Muradin is also very much isolated down here, by the way. And are they going to try and go for him? Yes, they actually are. They try to go for Muradin with a second, but he jumps over. The problem that Fury had here, by the way, is that he jumped a bit too early. That's why the Bone Prison still hit. If you make that a little bit later, that jump, then thanks to the indestructible frames that you have on your leap, or on your Dwarf Toss, you will completely negate the Bone Prison. If you time it right, then the Bone Prison is not going to do anything. In this case, he got actually rooted down on the other side of that debris. Didn't really matter, nobody could get close to him, but just one of the things to remember if you are going to play Muradin against Zul anytime soon. Level 16 talents with a Starwood Spear here. Once again, Inoculation has been taken, imposing presence. We're seeing amplified damage for Zul's Bone Prison. And also now the Wind Fury talent, that Tempest Fury with the additional 3 hits. A 2-level lead here once again. They're starting to pressure down here. Zul again, very much alone. He was trying to use his AoE. That was like the idea here. Poison Nova, he's down, but can they turn it around? They're trying actually. They're starting to move in. Angeletto is up at the front, immediately wilted, goes in and tries to zone for Lunara. The stun hits them anyway. Stun follow-up. The attempt to go for the reset. Giletto is low, Sundering used. They can't go for the kill just yet. Morales is attempting to heal everyone. Once again with the mana there, and it works so far. Fury is about to fall, survives the stun on Lunara. Mystic misses, but the kill against Thrall. The reset is there, and that is the double kill as Lunara dies as well. Great job here. Fury. Wilted is trying to keep Trap Queen alive. There's the stun on the other hand. That worked. Here comes the Condemn. And Morales. Oh, that was a close call. That was really a close call, but gets away. So bot lane was pressured again by a few of the camps and catapults. But you can really tell that Gale Force Esports is really starting to make a bit of a play here. Like, they are starting to come back into this. And now they have level 16 talents as well. The last fight happened without level 16 talents. The reason why it works is that we are seeing Zul still doing the same thing that he did in the early game. He goes onto the off lane and he's trying to push that in with his AoE. And you can't really do that anymore at this point. They need to keep their heroes together. I feel like they wasted that advantage that they had, and now they all of a sudden play on eye level with the opponent. Here comes that battle in the mid lane again. They're saving some shots on the tower. Great move here, actually. Really well done with that cleanse here against that Stormbolt. The Oculus is still a little bit low, but now they can go for that battle again. Mirror Ball has been chosen. They're seeing also the Rising Storm, Nerves of Steel. It's time to fight once again as Lunara goes in for the damage. Look at Fury. He has that Storm Ball ready. Nice move with the Sundering. Well done here, but can they get the kill against Equinox? They're trying to. Poison Nova is there too. Everybody is about to die. If they can follow it up, they're trying to go for the safe kill against Tyrande. This is going to be an easy one. And it's going to put the entire situation into a 5 versus 4 in favor of oVo. So they are actually starting to take back the control over the game. They have the shots fired into the mid lane where we have the keep already very low up at the top. Most of the structures have been destroyed as well. So they can just like go for these one. It's not, or it at least shouldn't drop the keep. But both of them are going to be so incredibly low that it will be very difficult for Team Gale Force Esports to keep them alive. Even the camp is now being taken. Johanna is there. Oh! The Oculus is nearly falling there. They are playing this a little bit too close to home, if you ask me. Wilted. Wow. Dance. Like. Kappa. The kill by Li Ming. Thrall is trying to punish her. Equinox, by the way, should be really careful where he's going to move next. Wilted is also rushing away. Like, we are currently seeing a little bit of a weird one. First of all, they engage again into a very interesting situation where they nearly lose their heroes. Then Zul gets sniped. Now it's a 5 versus 4 again. They are once again on the run, using Sundering again. Li Ming wants the reset. Fury is getting really low now as well, poked once more from a distance. But at the same time, a camp is starting to push in against the keep. Guys, this is a really weird game that we're seeing right now. The fights that have been happening over the last, I would say, 5 minutes have been a little bit weird and a bit chaotic, I have to say. But so far, it looks like we're still seeing a chance for Gale Force Esports to turn this around. But overall, oVo, when they fight with 5, they're looking really strong. When they fight with 5, they are looking extremely strong. So we have camps taken again. I mean, right now a camp is pushing the top lane. In theory, you could even try to go for boss, but I wouldn't really recommend it. I mean, it's a huge risk, but if they buy time, they can just like allow this camp to push once again for keeps. So that would be one of the advantages of like at least threatening to take boss if the opponent moves back. So buying time, that would work. But Li Ming is already moving in, so now they have to make a decision, and they could at least go for that Siege Giant camp. That is something that they can actually snipe if they want to, now that Li Ming is up at the top. And that's what they're actually attempting to do. So I like that. They go for the Siege Giant camp, they know that they are here, but Li Ming is missing, and that's the big problem. Also, Equinox needs to be very careful. There's the stun. They want him. They really want him. They want to have Equinox right now. And they're starting to move in. The Oculus is still here up at the top. Li Ming is starting to move in as well. But still the Necromancer is a bit zoned. Uh-oh, didn't eat that op though. And that was important. So no burst against Zul this time. They are able to move back. They still have the lead in experience, but it is getting a bit closer. 100,000 siege damage on Zul. When it comes to especially the hero damage, I mean, look at once again Lunara. 74,000. 61,000 on Li Ming. Do we actually have like a male melee assassin or assassin that can keep up with that? Greymane maybe? Like, I don't even know. Oh! Once again, Zul, what are you doing, baby? Oh, there's the safeguard. And yeah, Trap Queen keeping him alive. Zul is really starting to become like that Kappa clown that is always like in a weird position and always gets jumped and they have to keep him alive. He's that one guy that you get in Hero League that is always like the risk in every single team fight. And it's a little bit weird. I mean, I totally get, by the way, why he is in that position. It's not like the Oculus is playing like necessarily a horrible game here. He had, especially in the early game, a huge impact on that lead. But right now, he's always trying to set up for a flank where he can also get the Poison Nova off. And it's never really working for them the way that they intend to. So every time they're sniffing him out and they're starting to go for him. Oh, this is the Shadowstalk attack. They're trying to go for a fight before level 20. But Equinox is low. Great Poison Nova. That was a good one. That was a really nice Poison over here, and yeah, this is going to be the end of Gale Force Esports. They are on the run. This could definitely be the end. Wilted is somehow still alive, but look at all of those hit point bars. They are so incredibly low. Lunara is still poking. They somehow miraculously get away, but it's still not going to change that the temple is in the hands of OVO, and they are going to get their 20s. Indestructible has now been chosen, or should have been chosen. We are still seeing at the same time also the Mortal Wound. A great talent against double support, by the way. I'm really liking it against the double support. Indestructible. Nexus Frenzy has been claimed for Thrall. No Bolt of the Storm for him. Lunara is going for the Gallop thingy, the Galloping Gate. And we're having Caduceus Reactor 2.0 taken for Morales. A great situation for them. All of the keeps have now been destroyed thanks to that last temple that we just saw there. And also the core has taken severe damage. So again, great situation for them. Could maybe even go for like the boss at this point. I mean, not really quite sure if you want to risk it. I really would say they should probably not do that. But let's see. We have at the same time, still, well, what is Thrall doing very much alone? Oh, Thrall, dude, like, if you die, if they lose now because one of them just splits from the rest of the group, oh, what? That is the worst pause ever. Zul pauses, he's up here. Guys, this is the, oh my god, they could both die. They could actually both fall. The Shadowstalk attack, and they are starting to move in. Down here we have Sonya. She's going to move in as well. This could be a disaster for OVO. This could be really a disaster. Could work out, of course, but yeah, okay, they move away immediately. They have Sundering. They should be able to disengage if they need to. All right, so they get away. They've seen that coming. Just imagine for a moment if they wouldn't have moved to the right. If Insomnia and Wilted would have moved to the left, right into that Shadowstalk. Oh my god, that would have hurt. It's a desperation move. They go for that particular boss now. We have them on Ignore Pain. Double rewind for Muradin and for Rhaegar. Here comes the fight. Amplified healing already used. They're going in from the side. Lunara is poking as much as she can. The Oculus is dead. Zul is down. Is it going to be the turnaround? Gillette was nearly dying against Li Ming. Boss with the hits. But they go for Equinox. The boss has been claimed. No, Wilton is still on the point. Wilton with the Indestructible uses the Condemn. Hexo is about to fall, but the double support keep them alive. Down goes Muradin. The boss is still in play. And they're going to get the team wipe. Oh my. No, the North Hexo is getting away, but the boss is there. And this is game. Double Temple now active. What a finish. Like, they can do whatever they want. This is definitely GG. I mean, already the waves are pushing in. The boss is pushing in. Everybody is just, like, rushing towards core. But also a simple Temple would have changed that game. What a finish here. That could have turned. That nearly turned when Zul died. But it is the 1-0 lead for OVO in the last best of 3 series in Group C against Gale Force Esports. Congratulations. Let's see what game number 2 is going to show us here. Ladies and gentlemen, we have the potential last map of the day. OVO is in the lead against Gale Force Esports, and Cursed Hollow is the map. A map where Falstad is highly prioritized. So all of a sudden, we have 4 heroes if you count Zeratul, the teams are looking at now. And yeah, now the question. Zul ban? Falstad ban? We have seen a huge focus on Li Ming, and Zul is banned out. Okay, so Gale Force Esports says, yeah, that's siege damage, we don't want to deal with that. OVO, they have their shot at Li Ming, which would allow Gale Force Esports to go into an early Falstad if they want him here. So currently 3 heroes that we're really looking at right now. Muradin, Rhaegar, Falstad. I guess Thrall is also an option that we have seen several times. They prioritize Zagara again. Okay, so Rhaegar, that was one of those, but Zagara even higher than that. And OVO, they have like a lot of choices to pick from at this point before we're heading into the second wave of bans. There's Thrall around. You could go for Falstad for the control. We have also Muradin. I actually assume that Muradin is definitely going to be one of their pick. If you get the chance now with this setup to go for a Muradin, like why would you pass up on that? It's like an amazing pick in this situation, and it would be very surprising if they would say, okay, we're not going to do that. So going for a Muradin here would definitely be my recommendation. And they do that. So besides that, let's see what's going to be the second choice. I feel you can really go into that Thrall. It depends a bit on the playstyle, of course, but Falstad, for me personally, would probably be my first pick over Thrall even. Because it's just it's insane how much control you get over the map. The bosses is, of course, what everybody's talking about. I mean, like Mighty Gust, like you can take a boss safely and gust the opponent away. You can always like attempt, of course, to also steal one, which we see a little bit less these days, but still. Falstad in the European scene, I'm definitely sure we would have seen Falstad in Tempo Storm yesterday, prioritized, sorry, not yesterday, Tempo Storm today, and yesterday we saw Cloud9 with a high prioritization on Falstad, so I'd say that would be a great pick here. But we have seen a lot of Thralls, we have seen also like a lot of, Greyman actually not so much today, which you could still take there. But for me personally, it would definitely be that Falstad. There are alternatives that we've seen already being played here today, so they could work towards one of those. But right now, it would give them a lot of control here. Depending on how they want to play it later. I mean, we've seen a couple of... Oh, Karazhan? That is an interesting Karazhan pick. Very, very early Karazhan for them. To be honest with you, that surprises me. Now I'm really curious what they're going to draft. I could have understood a Thrall, which is banned now by Gale Force Esports. I could have understood the Falstad. There's a couple of other heroes that I thought would have been really decent. If you want to go for a support, I could have even seen them go into an early Tyrande or maybe even a Tassadar if they want to work towards a melee assassin. But playing the Karazhan this early is, I feel, a bit unnecessary. I'm really curious to see what they're going to do with this. Tassadar is being banned out. Okay, so, well... Tassadar banned so that Rhaegar Tassadar cannot be used to complement a melee assassin. Okay. Not sure if I would have gone for that particular one. I'm not sure if that Tassadar ban wasn't really necessary. But, okay, if they are afraid of that, then why not? We have ETC for the Moshpit combo with Zagara's Maw. I'm really curious what OVO is going to draft now. We could see that Lunara coming back into play, by the way. Lunara today has an incredible win ratio. I think we saw her 3 times, and Lunara won every single game, if I'm not mistaken. So Gale Force Esports with that ETC, Rhaegar, Zagara, that's already like very strong control that they have over these fights. They could even head into a Sonya if they wanted to. ETC Sonya can be quite powerful, but they need a bit more range damage, I feel. So I would either like them to go into a Jaina, so that they can capitalize off the Mosh Pit on the Maw, or still use that Greymane, which we have actually not seen so much today. Greymane has dropped in these games today here quite a bit, but I really feel like with the setup that they have right now, a Jaina would actually be very powerful for them. So that would be a pretty cool pick. Jaina can really capitalize on the Mosh Pit, she can capitalize on the Maw, she can get you a lot in there, and then you can still, on the last choice, decide to go into a different damage dealer, no matter what, with maybe a bit more of an auto attack focus. Wow, they commit to an Illidan. Okay, so even with Tassadar banned out, they commit to an Illidan right now. And yes, now I really want to see how OVO is going to react to that. Karazhan has been chosen as the healer. They have Muradin. We could potentially... I mean, what could we see really again? Like, you don't necessarily have to play something against Illidan. You have already Reparation on Muradin. Sonya is great as a counter to Illidan. We have... because she bursts him down really easily. And we also have, of course, a Spear, which has that mini stun as well, which is absolutely cool. Muradin for stun, Karazhan, it could theoretically even go for a 7-sided strike, which we've seen a couple of times against Illidan compositions, because the thought process is, Illidan jumps into your team and you 7-sided strike him. So you can use that, and it helps with the burst against him. It depends a bit on what else is being chosen by Gale Force Esports, because if you are afraid that you are going to get bursted down yourself, then you, of course, would prioritize the palm. But besides that, if they want to, for example, go into more of a damage-oriented charism, they could go into a second healer. And if you go into a second healer, then you have two choices. You can either go for the Tyrande, so have you more lockdown and also the vulnerable against Illidan, or you go into a Brightwing, because Brightwing can go for the Polymorph. And after you have level 16 for the Greater Polymorph and then 20 for the Rewind, Illidan is going to be locked down completely. OVO going into an Abathur, on the other hand, that's actually like smart, because I guess there would have been a chance that Gale Force Esports could have gone for Abathur themselves. And now Abathur taken means, first of all, you have support for Sonya. You have always Toxicness on the map. Abathur can Body Soak. I actually like it. I like the Abathur choice. So they kind of picked them away from their opponent. Okay. A Brightwing for Gale Force Esports with a double support, I'm not really sure if I would like that. I'm not certain. I have to admit that I haven't really seen Rhaegar Brightwing. But I'm not really certain if that would really help you. Have a bit of global presence. That makes it harder for Abathur to really soak an offlane. You have also, of course, the shield for Illidan as well. But you really put all of your... You put everything onto Illidan. Wow. That's commitment right there. Double support Illidan with not a Tassadar that can still poke from distance, but a Brightwing. Okay. So I have not seen a comp like this before. I'm really curious how that's going to work out. I mean, OVO, they have like one win condition, and this is like kill Illidan. Kill Illidan, take him down, Li Ming, Muradin, clap, stun, Sonya, zip. And I actually think that with this setup, Charism is going to go 7-sided strike. I mean, right now, with that, go for the 7-sided, and if Illidan jumps in, try to burst him away. But I guess we're going to jump into the game, guys, and we're going to find out ourselves now. So let's see who's going to take it here. We have game number 2 coming up on Cursed Hollow between OVO and Gale Force Esports. Game number 2, everybody, between Gale Force Esports and OVO. Well, and currently we have to the left side of the map a very interesting composition with Equinox on Illidan, Fury on ETC, and here comes the kicker. Mystic on Brightwing and Hexo on Rhaegar. Double support Illidan with only Zagara in the backline for damage and map control. To the right side, Wilted on Muradin for OVO, the red team with Gilletta on Abathur. We have Trap Queen on Charism and Somia on Li Ming. A potential double Sonya with the copy on Abathur. The Oculus is playing Sonya right now. And I'm really interested to see how this is going to work out. I've actually been thinking in the draft already quite a bit about what Illidan could do here, and also what the double support could indicate. Because a lot of people, after the change that Blizzard put to the increased cooldown for Ancestral Healing, have been talking about Bloodlust, and we don't really see it too often. If you use Bloodlust in composition like this, it's of course a massive risk, because the problem that you have is that you already put all your eggs in one basket with playing in Illidan in this situation with the double support anyways. If you put Bloodlust on him, yeah, he gets a lot of attack speed, but that doesn't help him with the survivability, and you take one of the massive burst heals away from him that he can capitalize on. So I'm not 100% certain if I would be okay with the Bloodlust in this situation, as much as I love the talent, but it feels like it's very greedy. Insomnia with a teleport, dude! Oh! Trying to teleport again, and Abathur is there. The Oculus is trying to help out, and another quick teleport. Ether Walk just saved Li Ming's ass. No doubt about that. That just saved her completely. So yeah, right now Insomnia got away, did not die. One tower is down at the top lane, and the second one is in this case also now about to be bursted. At the bot lane we have a bit of a support battle happening right now. We're seeing a Hyper Shift taken, we have the Electric Charge, which makes of course perfect sense with Illidan. It's going to be interesting to see how Abathur is going to play it here. I mean, for Abathur of course it's cool that you have the mines everywhere so they get a bit of vision, and you're also going to go potentially into a double Sonya, because you want, or double Li Ming. I mean, double Sonya has the advantage that you can really just like try and lock, maybe even a double Muradin, to be honest with you, so that you can go for that Stormbolt against Illidan. If you get Illidan into a stun lock in these situations, that would be absolutely fantastic for them, because you have to still keep in mind that the complete win condition here for Team OVO is that they have to make sure that they just simply burst down Illidan. Kill Illidan and you win the game. That's basically what happens here. If you're able to take him down, then you have done it. it's like most of the damage, it's like all that disrupt that they have, so we are going to see a very very high focus on Illidan and how he's going to be played. And right now, the Shadow Shield, the Immolation, I would still expect him with the Metamorphosis in this game, not with the Hunt. We've seen the Hunt a couple of times in serious games. I mean, yesterday it was played as well, and depending on the map, it can be a great tool. It was actually played to like play around the opponent a little bit even. Ballistos Force have been taken here, so global range. That's already an interesting pick on Abathar. These days, we actually see him a lot more going into the increased number of mines. So the global range is an interesting one. Whoa, kill at the top lane. Commitment against Sonya here, taking her down. There's also perfect timing. Well, the only issue is that there's nobody really down there except for Brightwing. So it should actually play out in a way that we're going to see them rotate fast enough. But the thing is that Zagara even stays at the top lane. They are incredibly far ahead in experience already. This would work out really well for them. Yeah, Illidan, you are very far from home. Brightwing eats the full damage, by the way. Illidan gets away. Sonya is moving into the fight, and we still have at the top lane Zagara. That also makes sure that Abathar can't go up. That's a really important thing, by the way, that Abathar cannot go up to soak experience. And guys, this fort is going to fall. This is going to be level 7, potentially. Down here, the tribute has been chosen. They need more than that. They really need to kill a few structures here, I feel. They go for the fights. They're all still there. And, well, the fort has fallen at the top lane. Level 7 any second right now for the blue team. And this is starting to get a bit grim, I'd say. I mean, Illidan is already starting to jump in once again. A dash can be used by Trap Queen. Gets away here. Alright, so that works. We have Thrill of Battle being used, which is oftentimes used with a Hunt. Just saying. I mean, you have a huge focus on Illidan. So basically why he does that is because with a Thrill of Battle, you get the double cooldown reduction, which is incredibly powerful if you're trying to go for the level 13 shield, which of course is able to negate ability damage for you. And if you're going up against an ability damage heavy setup, it can be much better than going into first aid. If you do it perfectly, it can give you a lot more value and give you more safety. And that's what they're currently trying to do here. So in this case, they're having so much heal that they're saying, hey, the ability damage is something that is like easier for us to negate, so let's do that. And that will make Li Ming, put Li Ming in a position where she cannot really be as strong against you. So I actually like the setup here. Besides that, we're also seeing now, once again, on level 7, the Vile Nest taken, so that's going to be annoying. Battle momentum already on the way. And this is going to be such an interesting game, guys. I mean, this setup is something that we don't really see all too often. Already, to go for Tribute number 2. So far, we have OVO with the first one. They can't lose Sonya here. They cannot lose Sonya. Sonya should move down. They're going into the fight right now. Already, Li Ming moving in. And here comes everything. Arcane Orb is jumping in and missiles. But the Oculus is once again low and dies. Yeah, they jump away. They have to move out. And the big problem here is still that Sonya gets caught too early. At the beginning of the game, OVO is at a disadvantage in the tribute fights anyways, because they don't have a body. Abathar is the only one that can help out, and it's going to be much easier for them to really have an impact in these battles once that Abathar has his copy up so that they have the copy. So keep that in mind. Normally with an Abathar composition, you know that in the early game you're going to lose 1 or 2 objectives. That's pretty normal. They won the first one, which is actually huge for them, because it means that even if the 10 is hit much earlier by Gale Force Esports, they don't have to fight for the third tribute because they can't be cursed. So winning the first tribute was a huge deal for them. They lost experience because of it, but at this point they're going to be okay with it. They're going to try and make up for it, which is going to be very important. Abathar could unfortunately not body soak during the first tribute because Zagara was at the top lane. Going into the mid lane would have been a pretty big risk. But as long as they don't die now on 10, it's fine. They can give up the tribute. There's no problem with that. Illidan went for the Metamorphosis. We're having also no Bloodlust. I would have been very surprised by Bloodlust. I'm going to be honest here. Insomnia, like, I am not so... That was the worst teleport NA. I mean, what exactly was that just now? You could have moved down here and teleport over here. Like, that's more like it. That's a good teleport right there. But yeah, the first one was actually like a bit awkward. So Insomnia hitting the panic button, I want to say. And then I can guarantee you one thing. Once that he teleported, he was like, oh my god, mistakes were made. So in this case now, they give up the tribute, as they should. They wait for level 10, Trap Queen. Abathar then helps them. Okay, so it's going to be a level disadvantage. They have all the abilities that we thought would be there. Blink Heal, Ancestral Healing, the Mosh Pit, and here we go. Wrath of the Berserker, they go for Wave of Force. I'm liking it. Wave of Force can actually be used in this case now to try and separate Illidan from the backline. They also have now 7-sided strike. Guys, this is going to be a pretty cool... This is cool. I like this. This is really nice. What they're going to try and do is they're going to try and use like the blink, use the teleport between Illidan and the rest of the team, use Wave of Force, knock Illidan away, jump on him with Charism, use 7-sided strike, Haymaker if they need to, and just isolate Illidan so that they can burst him down. It's all about Illidan isolation. I'm really liking this setup. This is also why we're currently seeing Wave of Force here. It's going to interrupt the mosh pit, and it's going to help you to make sure that you have something to isolate Illidan from those healers. That's going to be great. They can Haymaker Rhaegar, for example, and get rid of the burst heal. I'm really liking this setup. I'm super curious to see if they can make it work, because that has a lot of potential. Already, Sonya's being attacked again. They're starting to jump in for the fight. Illidan is there. Oh, nice Maw. Oh my god, that's a great Maw. That is a great Maw, and Illidan is nearly dead, but he survives, and he gets... Oh my god, wow. That is a total disaster for OVO. A triple kill against them, and that tribute is going to curse them, and they can even go for the boss in time. And oh my god, in theory this had so much potential, and it still does. But the problem is that we had an amazing Maw by A on the Sagara. Once that Illidan was nearly dead, they simply jumped into Metamorphosis, he got healed in the process, and then everyone that got Mawed ended up in the mosh pit. Perfect execution from Gale Force Esports. I'm loving it. Like, that was in... Both of the teams have, in theory, amazing setups if they time everything right. And in this case, Gale Force Esports played the most perfect setup that they could have asked for. It doesn't get any better than that for them. Like, this was the dream. The position, everybody clustering up, the Maw, and then also the mosh pit. Doesn't get any better than that. I've been really liking the thought processes here on the side of OVO as well, but for them to make it work now that they're so far behind, they really have to first of all show a lot of patience, and then they have to try and get that in during one of these fights. So this is going to be a pretty cool setup here. But the momentum is definitely on the side of Gale Force Esports. I mean, let's not kid ourselves here. So they can try to go for that. Already we have Abathur soaking experience up at the top lane, and everybody else is just like trying to guard the middle. The boss is starting to make his way down to the bottom, and that is of course like this boss. I mean, 10 seconds, yes, but this boss this is going to be a monster. He's going to go through that wall now as well. The forts are already all destroyed, and oh my god. Wilted is already low. The boss is currently being welcomed by Li Ming and Somya. It's not getting stunned. Illidan is down. They killed Illidan. They got Illidan down. How the hell did they do that? It was a 4 versus 5 with a talent disadvantage. They killed Illidan, and now the chase is on. And look what happens on the side of Gale Force Esports. They are running, and they're running fast. We saw Haymaker being used, and Somya is there. He abandoned the boss at the bot lane, but Illidan is dead. Illidan down, but what can they do? Well, they can at least try to get a bit closer in experience. Bombard Strain chosen. No support for Sonya, instead trying to push. Illidan has to move with the rest of his team. That keeps them together, so they're attempting to just like simply play around that and make sure that they have also Abathur starting to push the lanes. The keep is still alive here. This is a fun one. And well, we have by now also Illusion is taken, of course. We're seeing the Thunderstrike here. And we have at the same time Mystical Spear. Imposing Presence, by the way, going to be key on Sonya, I'd say. Personally, I would go for Imposing Presence. I really feel like it would be much better to go for Imposing Presence over the Nerves of Steel. Nerves of Steel are great, but Imposing Presence in this case would be great. I would go as far to say that even on Mirrodin, now that you don't have Avatar, you could go and use Imposing Presence. So that could be something. Boss about to be taken here up the top. Well, they sure got a pair of balls on them. I give them that. This is definitely... yeah, Cam taking at the bot. They're going to get that boss, aren't they? They're going to sneak that in. Going to make that work here. Well, or are they? Mirrodin is there, and he's like, wait a second. So, they have Abathur. Abathur, the slug is in position. Yeah, they give it up. The slug is in position. Has to move away here as they realize, okay, guys, we can't really do that. Level 16 is a little bit too close. So, we're going to wait for this one now. Alright, so let's see. We have the boss going through the top. We have also level 16 talents. Illidan went for the Stone Skin, by the way. No blood for blood, so he has Stone Skin ready. We're also seeing a full build now with the shield on Rhaegar. That makes perfect sense, by the way, with this setup. They want to make sure that they have this one thing set up. So right now, already, Brood Expansion is here. Bouncy Dust, Echo Paddle, and the Stone Skin is there as well. Up at the top lane, the defense. Keep has been destroyed. it's still alright. I mean, at this point, you know that you have to snowball against that Illidan. You know that you have to go for the 16, and then you have to win a fight. And once you burst Illidan down, you can really make it work, even with that keep down. So it's still okay. But, of course, the pressure is building up. I mean, yeah, that's quite obvious. The pressure is still building up here, but let's see. When are we going to have the next big team fight? So at this point already, we're seeing the Mystical Spear for Sonya. I could have actually seen her really go into maybe like even more of a passive stance there. But the Mystical Spear is of course going to allow her to get a bit more distance between herself and Illidan if he's going to try and lock her down again like he did in the previous fights. But let's see how they're going to play once they hit level 16. Because so far Abathur is actually like doing pretty well, trying to just like soak experience on the map. Like experience soak, just to give you guys a bit of an idea, Abathur is currently at 10k. It's not really too crazy just yet. Zagara has more, but that's mainly because she was very much alone at the beginning of the game when we were looking at the top lane. Wilted might have to move out. Well, not quite. Brightwing could be forced to jump in, but so far, of course, they don't really want to engage. They want to wait for level 16. That's going to be the most important part. So, that being said, talents on 16 are going to be really, really crucial. I'm really curious to see what they're going to do with this. So there it is. We have, of course, Abathur, Locust. I mean, that one was a given. We're going to see all that Stone Form, all right, and Imposing Presence. Yes, Imposing Presence on Sonya. I like it. I like the adjustment a lot. That's what she should have done, and I think it's a great choice for them. So now they're going to try and fight. Oh, Illidan! Illidan! Can they get him? Nah. Wilted was thinking about jumping and trying to Stormbolt, but it could have been easily dodged, so they decide against it. That's a tribute now that they have to take. So this tribute is going to be an important one. And Brightwing is already pushing the bot lane a little bit, but this tribute is definitely going to be fought over. And they're starting to get in position. Abathur is still at the top lane. Nobody's allowed to die now early on. We have, by the way, now also Diamond Skin used, and well, we of course know why. Here comes the setup. They found Illidan. We know where he is. Fury with that mosh pit. Keep in mind, Illidan is the focus, but still, if that mosh pit hits, then that's still a problem. Yeah, this time Illidan shifts his target. They're trying to go for him. Already the Mighty Gust being used, but Mystic jumps in. Here comes the Ancestral Healing. The heals are out. The kill against Brightwing, though. 5 versus 4 already, and now they're trying to turn around. OVO is on the move, and they are getting mauled again. They're attempting to make sure that Equinox does not get the mosh off. The force wave of force is not used yet. Illidan, everybody's on the run. They go for Rhaegar. They get the lockdown, and they get the kill. ETC is down. It's the quad kill. They kill everybody, with the exception of Illidan. He's the only one who's able to escape, but now this is going to be boss at the bot lane. They are going to move in for this one. Much better fight for them. Didn't even have to use the wave of force. Insomnia was actually aware that he might have to use that against the mosh pit on ATC, but they were able to interrupt that anyways. That was actually extremely well done. And Illidan is now very much alone. And they are, of course, still trying to take that tribute. Yeah, Equinox, he has that imposing presence, and yet also some Abathur support, so Illidan won't be able to do... Equinox is not going to do anything against him. Oculus is the one with the Abathur support. And with imposing presence, shouldn't die here. Or Brightwing, on the other hand, is now ready as well. That changes things. Oh my god, no. Sonya! Sonya falling, and yeah, that's unfortunate. That's of course 50 seconds that they're down right now. Alright, that's tribute number 2. They should have actually taken that a little bit earlier. I mean, hindsight is always 20/20. I didn't even think at that point about Brightwing. They should have, though. So at least the bot lane is going to be pressured now. It's going to cost them a few of the structures. In experience, it's going to be close. Why is that important? Because level 20 is going to be a big deal. Level 20 is going to be a very, very big deal in these situations. So Brightwing with the experience stoke, Abathur with the experience stoke, they're all just trying to get to level 20 as fast as they possibly can. And well, in the same time, we're currently also seeing camps taken all over the place. The teams are not really willing to commit to a fight just yet, especially the blue team. Gale Force Esports wants to wait for the next time. They know that Sonya is out, so they are not going to be able to make a big play or anything, but it's really just a matter of time until they hit level 20, and of course, the next tribute is going to mean that we are fighting over a curse. And that could be a 20 versus 16 talent, and that's going to be rough. The boss is also up, by the way. That's, as you can see, Abathur is very well aware of that. So they are currently having everywhere just like mines in position or toxic nests. Tribute is at the bot lane. And that's not one of these situations where you either go for the boss or you go for the tribute. Both of them would be alright, but you probably won't be able to get both. So yes, we see someone showing at the bottom lane, and therefore boss is now going to be 20. So that's the setup that they're going for. They have vision of that. They know that it's up, but I doubt that they are going in for it. The problem is really that with this boss you can do a lot of damage. But Insomnia with the poke is forcing them back. Okay. So in this case, Gale Force Esports not willing to risk it. They're saying, yes, we know Meridian's at the bot lane, but we don't want to risk it. If we lose it here, we could lose the game. So the teams are going to wait for 20. Guys, this is awesome. I'm loving this. I'm really loving this. Like, the setups and everything that we're currently seeing there is absolutely awesome. And we have level 20 talents now chosen. They're trapping at the top. There's the Metamorphosis already. We're seeing the Bolt of the Storm on Zagara. And we should see the same thing also on ETC now. And at the same time, we have Rega with the Rewind. Double shields with that Earth Shield. And also, of course, the healing. Brightwing with his own Storm Shield now for even more survivability. Look at this. Transgression being used. We are seeing Liming with a Tal Rush's element at this point. And we have Ignore Pain now. That keeps Sonya alive a bit more. Abathur can jump to the top lane, start to push again. This is all about the curse right now. So far, ETC hasn't picked anything just yet. They're waiting for it. He's attacking Sonya. She has that imposing presence. That's the problem already. Look at the burst against Illidan. He jumps away again, but Ancestral is out already. Wow. They keep everyone alive here, and Illidan is so low. What was that? Oh my god, that was a horrible transgression. That could have been so much better for them. Here comes that mosh pit. Illidan goes in, tries to go for the kill, but they can't get it. And Equinox needs to be super careful because Rega has no heals anymore. The kill against Sonya on the other hand. That makes it so much safer for him. The pokes are there. 1-for-1 trade. Stormbolt again. Illidan. Is he gonna go for it? He jumps in for Liming. 2 seconds until Wave of Force is gonna be back once more. And it's being used immediately. They're jumping on Illidan. They're trying to lock him down, but he's going ham right now. Go ham or go home. Double kill. Brightwing. Rega down, Meridian 2, Illidan is dead, and they go for Zagara. Abathur is once again helping them out here. Here comes Trap Queen, and Somya's on the move now too. They want the team wipe, and they are gonna get it. Trap Queen is gonna finish the job here. Well done, and complete team wipe. That transgression, though, I can only believe that. I think it was a misclick there. I don't think that Trap Queen was close enough to dying so that he had to use it to save himself. So it looked for me like he actually misclicked a bit and didn't realize that Illidan was already so far back. So in this case, it was a bit of a wasted heroic ability. It didn't really hit anybody. It worked out in favor of them in the end, though, because they zoned the back, they made sure that they got the kills in, and right now there's, of course, like the damage potential. They got the team wipe, but at the same time, there's only 2 heroes that survive. Insomnia has to teleport, and he does. Teleports away. The blue team is cursed. What? Insomnia! Oh my god, he teleported into the bush there, and if Brightwing jumps in again and goes for the polymorph, that's lights out. By the way, talking Brightwing, well, Zagara is dead for another 11 seconds. The curse is there. Curse is pushing the top here. Curse is pushing the bottom. They know that the boss is being taken. It's a 5 versus 4 so far. 5 versus 5 in a few. Here's Fury. They know where Fury is. The rest of the team is starting to rush in. Boss is about to be taken. They go for it and they take the boss. Illidan is too late with the Metamorphosis. Immediately the transgression and Susaniling saves it, but Brightwing is already down. Once again, Illidan is jumping in an amazing mosh pit. Mosh pit, that could be the turn. That could be the turn, but it's off and they're still all alive. Here comes the Morgans too, but Brightwing and the Rega are both dead. The supports are gone. Insomnia dies on Liming, but still Fury is there. He's also falling. The mosh pit again! Suicide mosh pit, and it's a double kill. That mosh pit changed everything. ETC dying changed it completely, but the bot keeper's already fallen, and Chiletto is still there, dropping the Locust now as well. The core is already going to be attacked, and at the same time we're seeing up at the top lane the boss starting to go in for another keep kill. Meridian is just like waiting there, seeing if they're trying to go for the structures, and they're not, but this boss is going to go full ham. Wow, that fight at the top. Illidan jumps in, Brightwing dies, the Ancestral is immediately out, Transgression is being used, he's getting super low, a great mosh pit, an amazing mosh, and then after both of the supports are gone, ETC suicides so that he gets his death mosh pit off, that he has the death metal ready, and that's the chance that Illidan and Zagara needed to take them on. That more as well, oh my god! Unbelievable, the kills are real, crazy setup there. I am absolutely loving this game. This is a fun one. 12 kills against 13. 2 keeps are now down. Only the one in the middle is still alive, and the keep on the 40 of course as well. But we are going to see these team fights again, and guys, once more, one team fight is all that you need at this point. One team fight. And, well, the boss is already about to be taken down here, but it takes a lot of time for them. And everybody else is starting to get into position. Here's the poke. Do they commit? Mirrodin is ready. They're trying to jump in. Heroics have not been used just yet. Illidan is there again, but they jump on the backline. Brightwing is low. Illidan is isolated. He's really isolated. He's using Metamorphosis already. Haymaker has been used now as well. Illidan, he gets healed, but Fury is low. They're not killing him though. They don't want to run into the death metal once again. Insomnia is already on the move back, and the more hits too. The pokes are there, and here they come once again. They go for Illidan, and this time Equinox is dead. He has to be dead. He needs to fall. He needs to die, but Brightwing saves him again. Mirrodin is down. Liming is down. They're going to turn. They're going to turn it. They're going to go for the fight. They're going to get them all. Trap Queen jumps away. Sonya is dead. Abathur is trying to go for the core here. He knows that they need to do something, and there's the Locust, and also the Mercenaries, but I don't think it matters. Trap Queen is going in now too. They're trying to threaten core, but Illidan is already at the right side. Trap Queen has to dash away. Abathur is on the run, but over here it looks like Illidan is going to finish the job. Oh my god, that game. What a match. And it looks like Gale Force Esports is once again bringing it into a third game. Over here, the Slug is still running. Yeah, Brightwing is taking it down. And guys, this is going to be it. What a match. Holy guacamole. This is game. We are going to see a third game in this best of 3 series. Whew. Game number 3, everybody. Battlefield of Eternity is the map, and OVO versus Gale Force Esports. The last map of the day is going to be Battlefield. And we have seen some crazy games here. That Illidan, though, I mean, that game could have definitely gone either way. And I mean, every fight could have been the last. It always depended on how many heroes you kill there. But that was incredibly well played at the end. Greymane is actually banned out. Very interesting considering that we have seen the hero like not at all today by these two teams. It felt like for most of the time that both teams don't really like to play Greymane. Most of the other pro teams in Europe and also in North America prioritize him very highly, about as highly as we see him here. But we have actually seen at least OVO and Gale Force Esports not using him a lot. Li Ming also banned out now, and that allows Gale Force to go into Azul as their first hero. So that's an interesting choice there immediately. Zul, of course, has had quite an impact on a few of the games already, and Gale Force is actually not quite sure if they really want to take him or not. Okay, they lock him down. So we have Zul taken, Necromancer is in play. And now for OVO, first of all, of course, again, that chance to go. We have a couple of heroes. I mean, there's still Falstad where you can play around an opponent a little bit. There's a Thrall, there's a Zagara that you can go for, there's Mirrodin. So it depends all a bit on the playstyle. Gale Force Esports has been so far the team that mostly tries to go for that Zagara play. So I suppose that, I assume that at right this point, OVO is not going to go for that. With Thrall, they could play a Mirrodin, and they can still play with a bit for range damage, which would be theoretically even a Falstad in this case, so you can use that too. There's definitely quite some potential with these early picks right now. I suppose that they're going to let Rhaegar slide and give that over to Gale Force Esports. They seem to be quite confident in their abilities to play other supports, but they switch it to... Wow, that would be an early Tyrande pick. We know that they love to play Tyrande. Okay, Tyrande and Thrall. Okay, so once again, Burst against Immortal. Immortal Burst is apparently key for them. And then they can also think about if they want to play with a second support here. Gale Force, very likely that we're going to see a Rhaegar on their part now. And considering that we still have a Falstad around, Falstad is a likely choice. I'm still thinking about like seeing Lunara here once again. Lunara has been having a huge impact on the drafts today. But as I said before, Gale Force, they love their Zagara. So Zagara it is. Another hero that we have not seen yet is, by the way, Zeratul. Keep that in mind because I'm pretty sure that he's going to make an appearance in this draft. Mirrodin chosen, Zagara as well. Kind of makes sense. Solid setups for them already. And either Zeratul is going to be banned out, or I feel like there's a pretty high chance that OVO is actually going to commit to Zeratul as well. With a Thrall, that would be a super aggressive setup, but I feel like this is something that we could definitely see. Zeratul has to, of course, be careful because of that Zul that can lock him down with the Bone Prison as well. But yeah, they ban him out instead. Okay, that works as well. So they ban him out. Gale Force. Johanna and ETC are probably, well, thinking about it, we could also see a Stitches again. So ETC is banned out. Johanna or Stitches. Stitches Tyrande would be great, and Stitches Tyrande Thrall is even increased lockdown and damage. So the ETC ban, I like that. I really feel it would have been a huge threat, but I really believe that Stitches would be a great setup here now as well. Tempo Storm used that earlier already, but they want to play it safe. I haven't really seen them play like too much to say with the Stitches yet, OVO that is. They played Johanna a couple of times, so maybe it's also like a confidence. No, they switch it. Okay, I like it. I like it, as I said. I would have said if they don't have the confidence in their Stitches play, they should go for the Johanna, but I prefer Stitches over Johanna in this setup, and they go for him. Okay, so that's pretty cool. That's hook into stun on Tyrande. That's a lot of burst also against the Immortal. That's Thrall as well that they have. And they could go into a second healer. Could even think about Charism, for example, again, so that they go Stitches hook, into Tyranne's stun, into vulnerable, into seven-sided strike, and burst the target away as fast as they can. But they can also, they should at least commit to one more range damage dealer. And it is a Vala for them. They played Vala on this map a couple of times, and the auto attack build that they used so far has done really solid work. And against Mirrodin, I really hope that we are going to see on level 13 the Giant Killer over the Temper Discipline, which has actually been the talent that we've seen in the last few fights. And Gale Force is going into an Uther, first of all. Divine Shield to the rescue. I mean, we have seen in the past, by the way, more into Divine Storm, but I would still think that a Divine Shield here is a little bit more likely against these hooks. Or also the Cleanse is, of course, going to be very important. Not only the Divine Shield, if you can get into range. So if they go for an Uther, that would work. The thing is that Uther can also get hooked himself, of course, which is another big problem. And I'm very curious. Like, I could have seen also, like, Charism would have had the advantage of having the mobility to dash away again. And wow, they do it again. They go for Illidan again. Yeah, still burst. There's still a lot of burst. Single heal this time, but the Illidan once more. Not sure if that Illidan is going to work twice, but if Gale Force Esports wins it by using Illidan 2 times in a row, I mean, then they deserve it. But Vala, single target damage most likely. Thrall damage, Tyrande, the Stitches here. Now the question, what's going to be the last pick? Oh my god. Okay, so instead of like a Charism for a 7-sided strike after a hook, and for that they go Brightwing for lockdown. And that would be pretty sweet as well. Polymorph. Polymorph versus Illidan hurts a lot. Are they doing it? You can play that. You can actually play that. There's a lot of heal that they have there. And you have also... do you have a Cleanse available really on Brightwing? Not really. Brightwing is one of the healers that can't really go for Cleanse. Cleanse against Bone Prison, against potentially the stuns on Mirrodin. So yeah, setup is ready. Guys, get pumped, because this is going to be game number 3. We have OVO versus Gale Force Esports on the final map of the day, Battlefield of Eternity. Game number 3, everybody. It is the final map. The final map that we're seeing now between Gale Force Esports and OVO. And again, we have the Illidan. Illidan, played by Equinox. He decided the last game in his favor. Now we have Fury on Mirrodin. We have Mystique on Xul. We have Hexo on Uther. And A on Zagara. To the right side of the map, Thrall, played by Wild for OVO. We are seeing Giletto on Vala once again. The Oculus on Stitches. Trap Queen on Brightwing. So it's a double support with Tyrande, played by Insomnia, against Illidan right now. Vulnerable, stun, plus Polymorph against Illidan. That's what they're currently looking for. Again, we have Rancor now taken as a level 1 talent. We have talking a lot about the AA build for Vala. The last patch has definitely increased that. The trade is now stronger on Vala, and so is the level 4 talent, for example. We are seeing the 10% damage increase on the 3rd consecutive attack. So basically, like, Manticore just got buffed a little bit. We're still seeing Tyrande going into the Owl build, going for Empower here. Brightwing will use that Polymorph on level 16 for the increased lockdown. And I'm super excited to see how this game is going to plan out. I mean, like, both of these teams faced each other, of course, already once. And in the first round that they played, it was in the end OVO that took it with a 2-1. But this is going to be a very different ballgame right now. This is the last map of the day, and if it comes down to the wire, then everybody is psyched. And one mistake can, of course, like screw everything over. So in this case, we're seeing Wilted up at the top, and A is there, so it's like a Swall against Cigara. Doesn't really surprise too much, 1-4 split again. But we're having Muradin and Illidan trying to go in, and they are attempting to go for a kill against Stitches. Nice stun though against the rest. And yeah, that is turning fast against Hexor in particular. Good hook against Illidan now too. Oh, he moved a little bit far in. He nearly died actually. Illidan nearly died to this one, and that was a bit scary. It's one of the big problems that you actually have, and it was incredibly well done by Insomnia. I want to highlight that real quick. We had a nice lockdown against the Oculus as the only frontliner, but the first thing that Tyrande did was make sure that she just stunned the area in front of Stitches. Because of this many melee heroes, they had to go in very deep and very close, so 2 of them got stunned, and that made sure that Stitches would not die in this scenario. Very well played, and at this point, again, we're going for the Immortal. And what is it all about? It's all about Tyrande again, and that vulnerable. Look how fast those hit points actually are bursted down here. So really well played. Illidan is currently the only one who's focusing on the opponent's Immortal. Everybody else is currently just like trying to go for this one down the bottom. And it's actually a defense now for the blue team. And so far, they are doing pretty well. But Illidan is going to have a rough time to go for all that burst damage on his own. Already the stun circles on the ground, but nice burst here by them. They're doing a good job. And Zul is in trouble. He needs to get away here. And the Immortal, at least for now, in the hands. Or like, well, not claimed yet, but the 50% mark is reached a little bit faster by oVo. So they're going for it once again. And, well, this time it's a 5 versus 5. They're trying to... Oh, the hook! Oh, Muradin! Muradin and the stun once again. And this is the snipe against Illidan. And that's, of course, the turnaround right there. They need to retreat, and they know it. Stun circles are dodged. Brightwing the only one who runs into it. They're even going to try and hit another hook here, maybe. But this is an easy burst now with the help of Tyrande and everybody else in a 5 versus 4 scenario. So they're going to get the first Immortal of the game with 50% shields. So 50% on the shields now that they can use to drop a few of the structures, and they get also the globes, which is important for Stitches more so than for anybody else. He's the only hero who really went for stacking talent. Amplified healing taken too, and the unstable anomaly now taken as well. Zul going for the Death's Reach, so European style with the increased range on the side, and we're having at the same time protective shield for Illidan, Immolation, well, to help Illidan. Sledgehammer. Sledgehammer is a great talent actually when you're trying to burst these Immortal downs a bit faster. Nice attempt to go again for Stitches, but he gets healed, and Illidan is once again about to be bursted, but so is the front line, and he is down. Equinox survives barely, and that was actually like a case where we had Tyrande use her stun too early. She used the stun too early, and therefore Stitches was taken down. Now that doesn't really give them a lot of hit point, a lot of experience. They're actually like still behind in XP because of the 2 towers that have been dropped at the top lane. But it allows the 4 lane at the bottom of the map not to go through the wall here as well. So this is actually incredibly important. If you just like take that hero down, the experience that you get by that is not going to give you a massive lead or anything. But it makes sure that your opponent can't push the lane any further, and that's the most important part. So for now, Stitches is back, and the Oculus has... Oh, nice hook, but the stun is a little bit too late. Now and Saul dying at the top lane, that's a problem, because, well, there's nobody else there, so you need to rotate someone top, and that's Stitches. If you play Stitches Tyrande, what you have to do is every single time that Stitches hits a hook, he needs to say that. Throwing hook, and the stun has to be right there. Right there. It has to, like, be at the same time. Okay. Suicide, Uther wants to suicide. Now they went into a 2 versus 3 here against the setup, and that nearly backfired, but he is able to get away. Experience is still fairly the same, so we're going to see level 7 dropping for both of the teams in time for the next Immortal. But yeah, that Stitches Tyrande combo, Stitches has to announce the hook, and at the same time when he starts to throw the hook, Insomnia has to be there with the stun. No matter if there's something hit, yes or no, you can't wait for the hook to actually connect, or it's not going to work. So for now, we have once again the level 7 talents, and that gives us the Piercing Bolt, no surprise there. We're having also this time over the Thrill of Battle, First Aid, so a bit of a different build compared to the last game. Also with a very different setup, of course, so that makes sense. Tenderizer taken, Phase Shield, and we're seeing a battle momentum for Tyrande. She really wants that cooldown reduction, doesn't she? She can also go for that, because in this case, she doesn't really need the rest of the talents. But I could have actually seen Luna Blaze here. I could definitely have seen Luna Blaze in this setup. But also the Searing attacks, and that's really a ton of single target damage that we have now from Vala. And that's going to help, no matter what target you're trying to burst down, it's going to help you a lot. And it looks like they're going trying to burst Equinox. Yeah, they're going in, hook is going to be hit, but not on target, not on point. So they burst the bot lane away, and, well, they need to make sure that they get the camp, of course, like eliminated. At the same time, Zul is doing the same thing up at the top, and here comes the attack once again. Stitches should have the hook up in another couple of seconds, so he's going to try and get another one in here, and then there has to be the stun. So he has to announce that, let's see if the combo works this time. So hook is going to not be thrown out just yet. Zul is making his way into the middle now too. The Oculus, is he going to go for the hook? They're all still waiting. They're waiting for a chance to engage here. And the poke from Thrall is there too, already moving away. It's a game of chicken a little bit. Like, they're basically ending up in a staring contest here, and let's see who blinks first. It is actually Zul at the top. Ah, no, he's not getting hooked. Insomnia needs to. He's too far out. Insomnia is too far out, and he's there trying to punish him for it. Nice stun, but the kill against Tyrande. Insomnia was too greedy. He was moving out and was trying to see if he could maybe land a stun against Zul, but that didn't happen. So in this case, they are now once again down a hero, and this is starting to be really worrisome for oVo. Gale Force Esports is in a great spot to get this one, but immediately the goal for Illidan in a 4 versus 5 scenario. They're really trying to make that happen now, but they are going to... Oh my god, they're going to lose Thrall. oVo is starting to throw here a little bit. They are actually starting to throw this a bit. First, Insomnia was a bit out of position, and then they attempted to go into a 4 versus 5 battle. Now they could go for the snipe, though. Nice. That was a good one. That was a good one. With Tyrande, they can make these snipes happen. 4 versus 4, and Thrall is going to be there soon enough again. So that was actually a really nice move. But before that, engaging is always difficult, because when you get stunned by Muradin, and then at the same time Zul ends up with a bone prison on you, you're going to be locked in place for a long, long time. Thrall is back to business, but the idea that we're seeing now for the opponent, for Gale Force Esports, is to go for level 10 first. But they just simply can't. Look at that hit point, wow, it races down. It's just like so much damage, but here's the 10. Here's the heroic abilities. They're gonna try and not lose too much. Oh, Metamorphosis! And the kill against Thrall down there. Thrall is already dead, and now they're attempting to go for Brightwing. But Equinox is incredibly low. Divine Shield is saving him for now. Stun against Tyrande. She's trying now against Vala. Yeah, Brightwing jumps in. Here comes that stun again. They're still fighting. They're fighting in the fort, actually. The fort is there, and they have to disengage. They might actually lose a hero here. They might actually lose one of their heroes, but the hook doesn't hit, and it's still 9 versus 10. But the poke could finish that Immortal off a little bit faster. They have to be careful, since it's now a 5 versus 5 again. Yeah, that's the problem. A lot of the heroic abilities are in cooldown now. Avatar, Metamorphosis, Lockdown attempt against Tyrande. Illidan is currently on the Immortal. They're starting to move in. They want to burst this one away, and it's actually not looking too bad. Here comes once again Giletto with his auto attack damage on the Vala. They still don't have level 10, but they are willing to fight in a 5 versus 4. The Lockdown doesn't hit, and they go for the Immortal. Alright, so they are still behind in experience, but they get the Immortal, and that's an important one. That's really important that they're going to get this one. Shields are there, and here's the 10. Here's the 10 for them right now, and that gives us Sundering, Strafe still being used for the backline heals. The backline damage. Blink heal, Shadowstalk, and Putrid Vial. The Immortal is there, and this is now really the chance to finally get even ahead in experience. If they burst through those towers and maybe are able to drop that fort as well, they will be able to make it happen. So I'm really interested if they're going to be able to make this one work right now. So once again, they're starting to jump in here. And guys, at this point, this is really getting scary. If a hook hits you while that Immortal, for example, hits one of his stuns, then you are down. You are doomed. They're going in. They really want to fight here. Brightwing needs to jump in. Here comes the Strafe. An amazing Strafe, and nearly the kill against Illidan. But first of all, Uther goes down. Equinox is now locked down. Poison Nova is strong. Vala is dead. And still Equinox is on the move. Zagara down. And, well, could we see for Illidan fall? Not quite. Oh, the hook against Mystique. And maybe the kill. Thrall wants Illidan, though. He wants Illidan. Who's the best melee assassin? It's Thrall. Thrall gets the kill against Illidan. Zagara was also, Zul was dying in the backline. And here comes the lockdown attempt against Fury right now. But, well, maybe if the hook is ready. Hook. Ah, no. No Captain Hook style just yet. One of the things that I still have to point out is that when it comes to like the hook and stun coordination, it's not really on point here. But they still get those kills, 6 versus 6. And of course it's always like a lot more difficult than it sounds here. oVo, oh, guys, like, I don't know, these guys played a great first series, and they really have a lot of potential there. They showed good games against Tempo Storm too, but first of all, they lose Thrall over here, and now they get a bit too greedy with the camp. They lose the camp, they lose Thrall. They are playing a little bit throwy at this point. 7 kills against 6 right now. it is, of course, a nerve issue as well. I mean, let's be honest here. This is not like one of those games where you're just like a keyboard warrior sitting at home and you're looking at the screen and you're saying like, yeah, I would have done that much better. You're actually sitting there, adrenaline is pumping, and one miscommunication and all of a sudden the game, or at least the fight, is over. So this is really all going to be about like nerves. This is about like who keeps his calm and who's able to really run with the advantage. And now we have a level 13, and that means, of course, once again, Sixth Sense, Decrepify has been used now as well, Thunderstrike, and the Shrink Ray here. Shrink Ray is, by the way, a talent that we could theoretically like see against Illidan as one of the choices during the draft now as well. Once again, 5 down to the bot lane. Immortal is spawning, 13 versus 13. Tempered Discipline again. Shrink Ray, yes, there it is. Nice, I like it. Shield Dust. And Thrall is, well, what he's going to go for. That's actually a very good question. A bit of a trap over there to the side. And they have the vision. Are they going to go for the jump? They see the heroes. They're moving in. Brightwing is going to go for the shield. They go for Illidan. And they're trying to burst him down. Strafe being used. Nice damage output. But the lockdown attempt against Tyrande. Illidan jumps in. And they get the... Oh my god. Oh my god. What a more... A quad more! Oh my god. That hurts. Oh god, the Maw, and only Brightwing survives. Only Brightwing. A great trap and a great move. Incredibly well played here by Gale Force Esports. What an incredibly play by them. The Maw was insane. And also again that lockdown against Tyrande, who found herself just in the middle of the battle. Definitely not in the position where she wanted to be in. Illidan is the only one who's currently focusing on the Immortal. Everybody else is already trying to go for the wall, and they're going to get both of the towers. The level lead for them, 2 levels ahead. The kill count 11 versus 6 now, and this is looking just fantastic for them. The Immortal, of course, is not in their hands yet. They're going to get it to 50%, but then it's going to end up in another team fight, and it will be on even talents, since we don't have level 16 yet for Gale Force Esports. So this fight is not won. Like, this Immortal is not in their hands just yet. And a hook on... yeah, well, again the stun not there as the hook hits. They don't... I'm not really sure if they trained this combo, but so far it hasn't really worked out the way that you normally want to play it. I mean, of course, once again, easier said than done. Here comes the... well, that was a bit of a Shrink Ray that didn't really do too much for you. But now the fight. Are we going to see again a lockdown hook? This time, where's the stun? There it is, and this time it hits hard, and down he goes. That's how you do it. Well, actually, like, that's not necessarily how you do it. Usually you want to hit the hook and the stun at the same time. But if you don't do that, that's the second best way to actually get that in. So they get the kill, they guard the Immortal, and we have at the same time now over here Vala trying to make sure that she gets damage in, but Illidan was starting to move over, so Uther isn't there. Uh-oh, Vala locked down, Zul is there. Nice, good job by Tyrande, immediately zoning him out, making sure that he can't go for it. They're trying to burst it. It's a really tricky battle that they're fighting here. Again, the damage against the Immortal on both sides, of course, but 5 seconds and Uther is going to be back as well. And they can't just sit here the entire day and wait for a hook to hit. If they hit it, that's going to be great, but we have now Zul and Illidan trying to protect the Immortal, while at the same time everybody else, especially Muradin, is trying to go for the hammer. So they're going to go for that as well. So at this point, we're currently seeing again Mystique. Ooh, stunned and lockdown. He's down, uses the Poison Nova still, and the Immortal is being hit now too. 16, soon enough. Soon enough, we're going to see level 16 for them, and there it is. So with that, another hook, another hook, another hook. Where's the stun? Lockdown, polymorph, and the kill against Uther. Great Maw. Insomnia is dead, but still it's something they could fight even without the 16 talent. They are in decent position, but Illidan is going to go ham again. Illidan is going to go straight for the kills once more. Trap Queen is still alive for a moment, but then dies, and now it's a 3 versus 2. They're still trying to at least get Zagara, and they should be able to get her, but Fury is jumping into the breach. The kill against Thrall. Oh, and the Avatar is ready. Gelato is trying to get the damage in, but it looks like Muradin is actually going to escape this one. Unbelievable. They get it, and now it's a 2 for 2. 2 for 3, actually, as Zul is already back to business. No level 16 talent taken for him yet. In this case, we're having just the Immortal. The Immortal is not going to get a keep. That's important, and it's 16 versus 16 talent. So the game isn't over by any means. But you can already tell that right now, there is definitely a lot of nerves playing into this. It's the one map that counts. It's the last map of the day, and if you win this one, then you have done it all. But look at the 16 talent for Brightwing. This is going to be a game winner. greater polymorph against Illidan, or no matter which target they're trying to lock down, even if it's just going to be Uther, who tried to use that Divine Shield the last time, but got polymorphed and couldn't get his ult off. If that hits, then of course it's slide out. And after Rewind, we're going to see a double polymorph, which is going to make matters even worse for them. Flowing Wound is also going to be pretty cool now for the additional slow, stone form, stone skin. This is going to be a nail-biter here at the end, for sure. I mean, like 14 kills against like 10. In terms of damage output, Zagara 47,000. Vala, 62k. A lot of that in strafe, of course, but these auto attacks are hitting home hard. So that's going to be another great move here if they are able to just like keep Vala alive. She was the first victim in the last fight, and it was really bad. So at this point, oh, there's another hook attempt. But again, like, a lot of the win condition really hinges on Tyrande. And Tyrande has been like, once again, just look at the deaths here. 6 deaths on Thrall, and we have Tyrande with 3. Not too much. Thrall has been focused down quite a lot. Tyrande in the last few fights has been one of the heroes that they were trying to focus their attention on. And of course it makes a whole lot of sense, because Tyrande stuns and also her invulnerable is going to be brutal for them. So they're trying to take her down whenever they can, and for Insomnia this is a tricky battle in these fights. This Immortal could decide the game if it ends up in the hands of Gale Force Esports. If it ends up in the hands of the red team, what's going to happen, it's going to move to the top, we'll have to go through the fort, easy win right there, and then go straight for the keep. So I doubt that they could go for core with it, but they could definitely get a huge game advantage if they take it right now. But if the blue team takes it, then it's probably going to be lights out. And at this point, all of their rogue abilities are ready, everything is set, and the stage is set for the final battle, or for the potential final battle. Already the move in, Tyrande is waiting, she's waiting for the stun, Thrall is at the side, his Sundering could be strong here now too. Nice. Already we have one cooldown down, and that is the Bone Prison here. Stormbolt against Brightwing, and of course trying to go again for that extra damage against the Immortal, thanks to the level 4 talent. Well, Stitches with the hook is gonna go for it. Not quite there yet. They're still waiting around. They're starting to make their way into the middle of the map. Also, of course, denying creep tumors again to deny a bit of vision whenever they get the chance to. Here comes again that... Oh, wow. Zagara not moving saved her in this case. Yeah, 18 versus 17. Illidan is starting to move in from the top again. Equinox is looking for it. He's looking for an engage. And Fury the entire time just trying to get the Stormbolt in. It's always getting blocked. Here comes that hook again. Not hitting. And the cooldown is once again on. And that is, of course, going to be another big issue here right now. Cooldown on the hook is pretty long, so you can't just like wait the entire time. And Illidan is just simply starting, you know what, I'm gonna start to pressure your keep. Zul is at the bot lane doing very much the same thing. It's Tyrande who moved to the top to face Illidan here. Everybody else is moving over and starts to push the Immortal right now. Zul is moving in, they're trying to go for a bit of a flank here. Illidan is now starting to move in too. The Maw only hits Brightwing. Poison Nova has already been claimed. Where's that Sundering? Not used yet. They're trying to go for Zul. Lockdown isn't there yet. And there's the Sundering for disengage even. Brightwing blinking in once more. Fury is extremely low. Here comes Illidan. They're trying to move out of the Metamorphosis. He jumps in. Brightwing is too late with the shield. And Illidan with the Divine Shield is wrecking them hard. Triple kill for Gale Force Esports. And boys and girls, this could be game. Once again, they're diving deep for the kill. Equinox in the end is saying, okay, I'm not going to go this deep. But yeah, they're taking the well, and then he leaves Fury alive. But Stitches has now also fallen up here at the top. So it's a quad kill, and that is going to be at least keep. It's going to be keep, if not core. It's going to be level 20 as well. It's going to be a disaster. This is 100% shields that we're now going to see on the Immortal. 100% once that they burst it down. And down here, what do we see? Keep number 1 already being attacked. And I mean for good reason. At this point, you can put so much damage in. You will end up with at least 1 keep taken out. As long as you don't lose one of your heroes here, it's all going to be all good. They have to TP back. They still have some time. They can actually like time the Immortal here as well. The team in red is nearly going to be back, with the exception of Stitches. But as you can see here, the Immortal is already being attacked. And with Hexer now on full mana since he just moved back to the Nexus, he can just simply go in and get those heals in. No problem whatsoever. So yeah, risking Thrall would be a mistake. They shouldn't do this. The level 20, no surprise to see the Mortal Wound being chosen here, simply because we have a double heal, of course. Redemption, Demonic Form, Rewind on Muradin, and the Bolt of the Storm on Zagara. And they move down in the bot lane. They want both keeps. They want both keeps at this point, and theoretically they can even try and go for core, as I already said. It's a level 20 talent that really matters here, and the Immortal is going to be at the top. They move in a bit early, actually. They move in very early, maybe a bit too early. Illidan is already isolated, and he's low. Jumps in the kill. Yes, there's the kill against Uther. The Maw is decent. Thrall is in trouble, trying to get away. Poison Nova is great. They're jumping in. Everybody is still alive, but they're getting low. Brightwing is doing whatever she can. Where's the next Polymorph? Kill against Tyrande. They're trying to turn it around. Redemption brings Uther back, and it's the triple kill, and this is game, ladies and gentlemen. Gale Force Esports, they lost the first best of 3, but in the game that really matters, they take it, and they take the victory. They will advance together with Tempo Storm to the next round of the End of the Storm playoffs in North America. Congratulations, well played, incredible coordination here, and really well done. Illidan wins the game for them 2 times in a row. The Oculus may be a little bit salty here. The salt seems real, but Illidan, he won the battle, and this is them moving on. Congratulations, well played, and GG. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is GG and the end of another series here on Khaldor TV with Heroes of the Storm. So once again, we have another video finished, and I hope that you enjoyed the commentary and that you liked the game, of course, as well. It was a pleasure casting the match for you. And if you guys really enjoyed it, then make sure that you give that video a thumbs up on YouTube. And of course, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, feel free to do that too. If you have friends that are interested in Heroes of the Esports scene, then definitely recommend the channel to them, or just show them the video if they want to see like a bit how the pros are drafting here, especially of course when it comes to the North American scene, European scene. And I mean, these days we even have a couple of Chinese games on the channel here, so I hope that you enjoy that as well. That being said, thank you very much for watching again. I'm going to see you guys next time with more Heroes of the Storm content here on the channel. Have a great day and enjoy your week, and see you soon. Bye bye.